Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see a man who's been in charge for more than a decade, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions, as they take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay and Oakland, California. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, as the 2019 regular season starts speeding toward a conclusion, not too many games remain to be played here in Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Detroit Lions. With you from the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. CDR matchup here. A couple of teams last year that were really pretty similar. Both under 500. Both missed the playoffs. And they both think that they can turn things around in 2019.
Yeah, how about 2018, though? A case of the haves and the have-nots. In 16-game seasons in the NFL, for the first time last year, no one finished 8-8. Now, you know that in baseball, basketball, other sports, turnarounds can take 3, 4, 5 years. In football, could just be a few months.
Here's the punter, Sam Martin, now ready to get us started. And off we go from Oakland. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Derek Carr is set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his 6th season, 28 years of age, former second-round pick back in 2014, and a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft, even contemplated maybe making a run at Kyler Murray, but in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long-term answer. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Carr. This complete to Jones. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A look now at the Oakland offense.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Well, certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. This is taken at the 18. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Lions will take over. Matthew Stafford and the Lions taking the field. Matthew Stafford in Week 8, the victory over the Giants. 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did have 1 interception, but thrown for over 700 yards and 7 touchdowns now in his last 2 games.
He is hot. He is locked in. He's been accurate with the football. And one thing I've always admired about him, besides the 40,000-plus yards, remember, he did that in the fewest number of games of any player ever. I think it's 147 games to get to 40,000-plus, breaking Matt Ryan's record. Underrated toughness. That was his 133rd straight start. That's incredible in this day and age. Now, I know Phillip Rivers has the #1 at the time active streak, but people forget Matthew Stafford answers the bell each and every week.
And Matt Ryan just ended his streak, so now Stafford's second longest in the NFL. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And now the offense for Detroit.
Had a nice offseason chat with wide receiver Marvin Jones, who's excited about his opportunity to return to form after injury ended his year in 2018. Remember, in 2017, he led the NFL in yards per catch and twice has been in the top 10 for receiving touchdowns in his career.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Ty Johnson, rookie 6th-rounder from Maryland. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. As soon as he got handed the football, he looked up and down he went.
And just think about what goes into a running play for the back, because he's thinking about getting the football, where's my gap, getting to the proper hole, reading the blocking. He had no time to do any of it. Didn't matter how great a player he was, all he could do there, hold on to the football.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford complete to Jones. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
When you're talking about what you want from a middle linebacker or an inside linebacker, you're talking about Tahir Whitehead. Does a nice job wading through a lot of the traffic and does an excellent job of bringing down ball carriers. One of the top tacklers in the league when he's on top of his game.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Oakland gets ready here to get the football back, and this is a team that sits at 3-4 through 8 weeks of the season. 3-point loss at Houston in Week 8, Charles. It was one of the better games of Week 8. Back and forth throughout, the Raiders ultimately falling to drop to 3-4, though, on the season. Where do they go from here? I'll tell you what, within their division, they're right within striking distance.
They certainly are, and let's give this team a little bit of their due. They've essentially been on the road the bulk of this season, including one game in London where they kind of started Chicago on their tailspin. So now they're home for the bulk of November. Home dates against Detroit, the Chargers, and Cincinnati. They've got a chance to really be a factor in the AFC West if they win all 3 of those.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Jacobs. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
In your face.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Agnew now to return. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And that will come the offense as they take over. Lions offense coming back out here. This is a crew, as we know, they can put up points, ranked 4th in the NFL. Largely because of the passing game that you and I discussed earlier. But you saw their game in Week 8. Now they're at 3-3-1 after that win. And now you feel like coming up, the next 2 weeks are really critical for them.
They absolutely are. And I think that they've got a chance when you look at what's coming up for them. They've got opportunities to get right for themselves, to get themselves back a little bit into the race in the NFC North. It'll start with their defense, though. You know they're going to throw the football and throw it well with Matthew Stafford and his guys. On defense, though, they've got to stop people from running the football. And that starts up front with their big defensive tackle, Damon Snacks Harrison, who played quite well against the Giants. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw, Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, D.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Let's go. Break the 250. 54 man. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll run with McKissick. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Jalen Richard, the 4th-year man from Southern Miss. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Carr will find his tight end. That's Waller. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. 2nd year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
On play action, now Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And now another one thrown incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. On the return, here's Agnew. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 23. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 28-yard line. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up.
Ready. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Lady. Hey, come on, no, come on,
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield too.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook. And that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
That kind of loss of yards, that is usually an error by the guy carrying the ball. At the 1-yard line, you can't get too fancy there. You just got to try and plow forward and get what you can.
It's just a disaster. You go back to the 6 after you were at the 1. Second and goal from the 6 this time. To throw is Stafford. James has got it. Complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. From 6 yards away. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Now Prater to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On play action, it's Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Two times. 4 down.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second down, Richard. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
That's really nice coverage there. I'm not sure he would have gotten to the first down marker anyway, but boy, oh boy, did they blanket him.
Yeah, short throw, but he really didn't have many options. Had to force it in. Well, he didn't have to, but he chose to force it in somewhere. Incomplete.
Yeah, now it brings up 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally, you run to set up the pass. Here, it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now it's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Stafford now. Only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Here's McKissick. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Jones has it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A carry now for McKissick. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep for the Raiders, Dwayne Harris. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Tyrell Williams heading back out onto the field now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Carr to throw. Caught by Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They run it with Jacobs. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Set, lady. 54. Let's get the ball. Right there.
They go play action here on first down. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. That'd be okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Well, you know, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing again is Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. To throw on 2nd and 10, Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Stafford now to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Stafford now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Stafford. And it's caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Stafford looks to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah,
what happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
On 2nd and goal, Stafford. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10, and the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
You got this.
You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it's 17-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so, but it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that. I love the observation. Offensive line and people having to protect him, they've really been in sync and been on point. How about the guys going out and catching the ball? Well, the receivers, the running backs, everyone is involved today. And what we're watching right now is really a beautiful team effort, isn't it?
Absolutely. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And it's second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a second straight loss. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the second time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Carr. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, here's Stafford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Stafford. And complete to Galladay. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This one out quickly to Amendola. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. To the air again, Stafford. And he'll find Hall. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Hall, 65 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Prater on to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Carr now 9 of 17 through the air. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
From just shy of midfield, Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From midfield, here's Carr. That's complete to Richard, the running back. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Carr going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down in the backfield. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Lions will take over. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Stafford on 1st down. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Stafford. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Stafford now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Again, it's Johnson. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a second straight loss. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Sam Martin now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Let's get off the field, D.
Here's Carr to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Throwing again. Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Second and 10 now from the 27. To throw again. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Tyre Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Stafford caught by Jones. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Credit the sack there to Arden Key.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Stafford out to the left there and complete to the tight end Hockenson. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Throwing on 2nd down, Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Check, 280. Check, Mike 54. Mike 50. You ain't going nowhere.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ready, 260. Watch the run.
They run again with Carson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. The Lions on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Set, lady. 54 miles. I'm scared. Joker.
They go to Johnson again. And he's taken down inside the 30. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Here we go.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. On second down now, it's Carson, and they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd-and-1 situation. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd-and-1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And Amendola's got it complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He finds his man Johnson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. Prater's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. but that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Shotgun now for Carr. Complete to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
On 1st down, Carr. Jones has it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Carr now to throw. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jamal Agnew, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. Now that turnover might just about do it. Here, 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, couple of 1st downs, and this one should just about be over.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. After the interception, here's Stafford. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
And here we go.
Throwing again. Carr. The open man here, Renfro.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. Well, that right there is what Jalen Richard can bring to this offense. I mean, last year, yes, he had 55 carries, but they used him more as a receiver. He had 68 catches in 2018, which was tied for the team lead. Really adds a nice element to the backfield for Derek Carr and company. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. This is caught by Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Go, Mike. 180.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Got his man. It's Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Carr now on 1st down. This complete to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
What down? 185. They're going to need some therapy after this.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr, the quick slant, caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Rashawn Melvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And Detroit getting set to go now. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Set. 180. Mike's 59. It's coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. Look at him.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
This is Carson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Oakland, we sign off. So long, everybody.